Ebony and ivory come together in perfect harmony. Side by side, we are brothers of another mother. Oh, I'm such an R word. All right, guys, here's the comments from who are the real racists in this country. I did a video about the BLM poster from BLM Houston, and of course, some people didn't like it. I got some thumbs down, 33 thumbs down or something like that, versus 280 thumbs up. But that's to be expected because I'm sure most of the people watching my stuff agree with me for the most part. So, of course, I pinned this one. We'll do this one last. Recently saw a video where a white guy was picking and throwing away trash while he was doing this. Two black females are throwing trash back out. Talk about respect. Okay. Amen to everything you said. Anyone ever said white lives matter, they would be called a racist. Yeah, that's a good point. If I say white lives matter, I'd be considered... If I say all lives matter, I'm considered a racist by the leftist and the media in this country, which all the media is pretty much leftist, including Fox. If you say all lives matter, you get called a racist. Imagine if you said white lives matter, and then you not only would you be called a racist, you'd be like vilified, marginalized, discredited, just piled on. The media would come after you, and you could not use their excuse. If you want to have a conversation, we can. Maurice Hall, sure, brother. Maurice Hall, message me on Messenger, and we can have a little live discussion. I would love to do that. Thumbs up. I believe BLM is a racist group. They use race. They use race. Okay. I mean, it's... How can you not see exactly what they're doing? Read the flyer. Can you imagine if I went around with a sign during these protests with the White Lives Matter on it? You would probably be attacked. I mean, let's be honest. You'd probably be attacked even by white people. Much truth here. Okay, here we go. Christian Robles. Janana with two N's. Black Lives Matter is a movement for people of color to be treated fairly and to get the respect and dignity they deserve from government in general. Okay. The Constitution and the Constitution, if enacted, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. All putting the word black in does is sensationalize it, make it more polarizing. It doesn't help. It does not help. And the racist thing, everyone is using the racist thing. Like, they throw that term around so loosely, it's lost its meaning. They want to say everything. It's like, knock, knock, who's there? Racist. You're racist, racist. Okay? If colored people and all people want the respect they deserve from the government, they have to take it. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. We can group together as a people of all colors, race and creed, and flood the city councils and get what we want for us, all of us. Equality. Okay, let's see here. Not just cops. White people have been oppressing black people since the beginning of this country. Yes, it has been, but in the last 20 years, I mean, where is all this white supremacy at? No one's been able to tell me. I'd say even in the last 30, because growing up, man, I saw barely any racism. It's all tongue-in-cheek racism, not real racism. White people deal with racism too, but not as much as black man does. Okay. I think white people need to put their ego down and try to come together. White people have been running this country, so white supremacy, most presidents were white, so that proves it. Well, no, bro, it doesn't, because white people are still the majority in this country, so it makes sense that the majority... Well, first of all, that's all that was in politics was white people for the longest time. Come on, man. I'm a huge fan of you, John, and keep open mind. Nobody talking about my Latino brothers in cages because they are illegal. Like, what the F? Just because someone is from another country and tries to come here doesn't make them bad or evil. It doesn't, but it's against the law, brother. And you don't want, like, criminals, and you don't want just anybody coming into the country, man, because then they can hurt your family. If they weren't here, they didn't come in here illegally, they couldn't hurt your family. It's not the rich and the upper middle class of Mexico that's running in here, or Canada. It's not the upper middle class of Canadians that come in here, or wherever they come from. It doesn't matter. Children in ICE camps, getting sexually abused. I believe that. We should break down all these ICE facilities. Yeah, but you're talking about borderless. White privilege exists, though, John, and it's not racist when someone says it. Well, it is, because, again, you're invoking race, white privilege. Most places that I've worked were mostly minorities, which meant that I was the minority there, being Greek or white, even though most people don't see me as a white person. It's real, and a lot of white people recognize their white privilege. No, a lot of white people have been watching too much TV, and has brainwashed them into thinking they have some type of privilege. What privilege? Where? Where is it? I'm still waiting for mine. When do I get to cash mine in? I'm almost half a century old. Only time I've been against reviews on this topic, and I've been some for more than a year. Hey, man. Thanks for making the comment, Christian Robles. It's all good, my man. We just have a disagreement there. The police issue out beatings to everyone except the politicians and the people with political connections. That's correct. Again, who are they working for? They're beating on all of us, but no politicians are going to jail. Benny C says, John, we all know black people cannot be racist. Again, there's racists in every race. There's parts of America where you don't go as a white person. I went to a bar one time with my woman, and became predominantly black bar. For whatever reason. So the second time we went in there, and I knew this guy. It was a black guy. He goes, hey, bro, are you lost? We were not welcome there because we were white. Do I care? No. We left, and we never went back. Whatever, dude. You don't like me because I'm white? I don't need you. I don't want you. We have a march going on in a small town here, East Coast, Florida. They're running this exact same flyer. More Soros paid BS. A lot of people invoke the name of Soros, but I've never seen anything rock solid yet. Not that I've been looking either. Where'd you see that flyer? I don't think BLM printed. News Now Houston posted it on YouTube timeline. People of color is fine, but colored people isn't. So it's not the words, but the order you put them in seems logical. I hope you're joking, Joe E. Oh, okay. Yep, you were. Thank you, sir. We want your support. Here's a list of rules you have to follow. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'm sick of hearing this S. John, you can't reason with stupidity. I've tried. I bounce around these out-of-hand protests. It's not what I want a part of. All lives matter. Dude, I've been hollering. They started saying that in the very racist statement, singly out of race. Period. All lives matter, y'all. I do want to see anyone hurt. I don't want to see anyone hurt or harmed in any way. The looting, come on, be honest. If you looted, you're not really part of our movement. Looters and rioters are not part of the anti-police brutality movement. They're not. Woe is me. Protesters are protests. First of all, human lives matter. I can understand not talking about the MSM because just like the police, they like to twist your words against you. Not talking to police is the best advice someone could give. Yeah, I guess. Unless you know what you're talking about. So you're all against Antifa? So you're all pro-fascist? Antifa is not anti-fascist. Look at their actions, not their stupid name. The Democratic Republic of China is not democratic or republic. Intro song is from Chris Rock's CB4. Yes, it is. Okay. All Lives Matter is the same BS deflection that they used when Cap was kneeling. Ignore the reason why he was kneeling and instead focus on disrespect to the flag. I bet you all wish that they were still kneeling now. Who's they? All Lives Matter is the same. No, All Lives Matter is an objective statement, not singling out any race. I mean, if we're going by the English language and not the definition the left has created for it. I thought that was obvious. How do stupid, insecure, victim-minded do you have to be? By the way, all these movements and victimizing the black people, dude, you're diminishing who they are. People like, there's black people who take on the police on a regular basis. Philip Turner has case law named after him. These people on the radio are so ill-informed and ignorant. It pisses me the hell off, and none of them will debate. It's so sick. But you know what I'm glad about YouTube and social media is that a guy like Drew Garabo, race-baiting leftist extremist, has to work 20 years to get a medium-sized audience in a big city where anyone with some real talent can just get on social media and become 4, 5, 10 times what he is and make just as much or 3 times as much money as him. Yeah, here's a good statement here. Waco is an example of white privilege, I suppose. The cops burned those people alive, let's not forget. Yeah, but there was one black guy in there, man. If you want to read anything about BLM, you know they make demands that always start with white people. Like, for example, white people, if you're inherited property you intend to sell upon acceptance, then give it to a black or brown family that needs it. And the list goes on and on with stupid S like this. Is that true? Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if these are black people who are running this group, because it definitely sounds to me like they're still trying to put us all against each other. All lives matter. I agree with that. Thank you, Adidas. Quick question. If your wife gets murdered... Okay, here's a good one. August Gamer says... August Gamer 2004, excuse me. Quick question. If your wife gets murdered, hypothetically, I don't mean that as a threat, what are you going to do? I'm going to have a funeral. Would you call 911? I guess I'd call 911 to get an ambulance there. If she's already murdered, what's your point? The cops can't bring people back to life. I hope you know that. What if you get into a traffic accident? 9 times out of 10, cops get there before any other emergency crew. Would you like to be F off, I don't need your help, pig? Well, why would I do that, sir? Isn't that what I pay them to do? Isn't that what I pay them to do, is help us when we need their help? Does that mean that we have to accept beatings and rapes and murders, and they get to steal our money on the side of the road, and enforce victimless crimes because I might need their help one day if I get in an accident? Think about that, August Gamer. You're probably a young guy, man. I am not trying to be rude. I am just curious. Well, there's my answer. Also, I'm not supporting the police in this instance. With the officers on the man's neck, the police were clearly in the wrong. Sure. BLM, another Soros-funded terrorist machine. Thanks, Kenny, for that input. Got the sniffles. I know you're in Florida, so little snow falling, my friend. Okay. Okay, there's another guy that's pissed off. Do you believe that all lives matter to the president, politicians, and the police? No. No lives matter to the politicians, the president, and the police. This is Christian Boswell's comment. When we say BLM, we're not talking to you. Who are you talking to? Because a lot of people have said it to me. We're talking to the president, politicians, and police. Okay? So I can say white lives matter on a t-shirt, and I could say it to the government, and it wouldn't be racist? Man, just look at your TV screen. I don't watch people. I don't watch TV, bro. I had that cut off like 2 years ago. Just look at your TV screen. You, white people, capital letters, are out there with us. Yeah, so? What's your point? White people are in the peaceful marches, riots, and the looting along with us. So what's your point? I'm not saying anything about race. I'm not the one race baiting. You are the one feeding this raw meat to your followers. No. No. This is my opinion. I have family members who have never left the hood, not because they can't, but because they have everything they want, need, and is addicted to right in front of them. With that being said, they can only see what goes on in front of them. The police drop off the drugs in the hood, the kids become drug dealers, the adults become users, and the cops come back, rob them, often kill them, and that money funds their operations and households. And so if you know this, why can't the community put a stop to it? I don't understand. So through their eyes, all they see is the white man. All lives does not matter. You just stated in a previous video of what you would do if you were that trucker, and if all lives matter, you wouldn't have guns. First of all, I have guns to protect lives, okay? Not to take lives. Secondly, that trucker was being attacked, and his life was in jeopardy. What are you supposed to do? You're saying he should sacrifice his life so they could take his? Are you kidding me? Oh, there's your video response, guy. Okay, here's another good one. This will be the last one. FMC123. Where's white supremacy? Banks, employment, education, housing, guns, freedom of movement, freedom to go about your life, etc. Okay, so banks. I'm assuming you're talking about loans. I think I've been rejected for every loan I've ever applied for, so I'm not buying that. And then banks do give loans to black people. I mean, I've actually seen a video in the South by Arizona or New Mexico where the Bank of America was given different rules for illegals. They were letting them open bank accounts without a driver's license, but they weren't letting the Americans, and the guy set up a little sting. So it works both ways at the banks. Employment, it works both ways in employment. Like I said before, everywhere I worked at, I was the minority. So how did I get in? Because of my white privilege? Education, that I don't understand. Education's free for up till the 12th grade, and then as long as you pay, you can get any education you want. Not to mention the endless resources that we have on our earth now, on our round, beautiful earth. Free, not only free libraries, free internet, information at your fingertips. You can become a professional or expert at anything within almost a year's time. Just with free resources. I'm not talking about brain surgery, but you get where I'm coming from. Housing, I mean, you save up a down payment and you put it down on a house. How can they discriminate? I don't understand. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But again, there is racism. But it's not white supremacy, and it's not black people are in danger. When it comes to police, they're after all of us. They steal over $10 billion a year from us, and their color is blue and green. Guns, how are black people being discriminated as far as guns? If you're 21 years old, 18 to buy a shotgun or rifle in most states, 21 or over to buy a handgun, and they don't ask you the color of your skin, so I don't understand the guns argument. Freedom of movement, that goes for all of us. We all have a slave card called a driver's license. We all get harassed if we're on the streets on a bicycle. The chief of police of Tampa, who's now the mayor, is known for harassing people on bicycles in certain neighborhoods at certain times. Freedom to go about your life, that goes for all of us. You always have to worry about the government is always over your shoulder, sending you stuff, looking at you, ticketing you, etc., etc., etc. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. Blacks are being discriminated now as much as ever, I believe is what she meant to write, or he or she. And I believe that's a bunch of garbage. When did it become a black issue? The generation, the 50s and 60s, who did the lynching of blacks are still alive and in power. Okay, so what are they doing now? Yes, racists were hiding their faces for a moment. I'm glad that now they feel like they can come out in the open. It's better to see their faces. Are you that ignorant of American history, John? No. But I know in the last 20, 30 years, this white supremacy stuff is way over-exaggerated. And the term racist and racism is thrown around so loosely now that it barely has any meaning or credibility. Anyone who's black versus white, they still say Trayvon Martin is a racist thing when they're acting like Zimmerman's white. Everyone just decided that Zimmerman is a white guy, and he's not. If you choose to ignore it, the problem won't go away. White privilege exists so much for you that you take it for granted. Oh, really? Please give me a specific example of how I have white privilege, please, and how I'm taking it for granted. See, these are the open-ended, vague, ambiguous statements that piss me off. White privileges exist, and it's so working so good for me that I can't even see it. Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad this magical power has been existing in my life all these years. I just haven't been able to see it because it's working so well that I took it for granted. Man, oh man, I can't wait to tell my parents, my wife about this. Whew. And then thank God that in the past few years, these leftists have figured out a way to spot it and define it. They're just amazing. I just love when people like you who aren't in our shoes try to tell us what's going on in our life. I don't know what I told you is going on in your life. I didn't tell you anything that's going on in your life. Just because there are laws against racists don't make them go away. Yeah, no kidding. What's your point there? I didn't say racists are going away. They're not ever going away. Maybe the next generation will be less racist than this one. Dude, I don't know which generation you're talking about, but I'm a Gen Xer. We were not that racist. And every generation after us doesn't seem to be very racist at all. And I don't know what you're talking about. There's less racism now than there's ever been. Yeah. You should look up racist in the dictionary, dude. I don't think you know what it means. I treat every stranger the same way. Even though I don't trust anyone, I do not prejudice anyone based on race, ethnicity, or gender. You show me respect, and I'll respect you. I don't ignore color, size, language, smart, gender. I won't think I'm better than you because of any of those things. I know everybody's experience, talent, skills, and life story is going to be different than that of mine. I don't make you any better or less of a human being. That's my philosophy, my motto, and how I was raised. Ain't nothing racist about it. Great. So, let's stop with all the color and respect each other as humans. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. How long? Wow, 22 minutes. Thanks for watching. Peace and tranquility. Please check out my Etsy store. YouTube's not letting me monetize anything in the past 3 weeks for some reason. It's probably because I'm white. All right, everyone. Thanks. Bye.